you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we are going to just dive right in. I've gotten a couple requests to talk about diet and exercise and spiritual awakening and how they all go together. So I figured I would jump on and just kind of flow and let you guys know what I've learned through my experience and how I've been able to work with my body to heal and to also feel really good. And as a byproduct, it looks really good. And that was always my goal in my 20s and in my 30s. I'm 41 years old now. And in my 20s and 30s, I had eating disorders. I had obsession about working out. I was really focused on the body. And when you spiritually awaken, you detach from all of that. You detach from your career, you detach from labels. You're no longer that mom or that sister or that coworker. You're now this soul, and all of those labels go away, and even the body starts to become less important. So you go through this phase where you don't want to work out. You aren't obsessed about what you look like anymore. You're just literally in your soul wanting to feel good each day. And you're listening and tuning in and listening to what the body is calling for. So, in the beginning of your spiritual awakening, you might be called to stop eating meat or eggs or animal products or anything that you're feeling doesn't feel good after you eat it. It's not permanent. Sometimes it's temporary. So, follow that. Your body is guiding you, telling you what it needs. A lot of times, our bodies don't need much. I did a water fast for 48 hours, and it was the best thing I've ever done because it showed me how often my brain was going to, ooh, I got to eat. Ooh, I got to put something in my body. We don't always need the food. Okay. And we don't always need large amounts of it. So, through my experience, I was a health and fitness teacher. So, I've always been into working out and shaping my body. So, I know the basics. I know that lifting, I know the benefits of lifting. I know the benefits of running and walking and switching up your routine every once in a while. And I would always get to a point where I would look really, really good and I would feel really good. And I had worked out like 7 days a week, and I had a routine, and I had a diet that was perfect, and I not too many carbs and the perfect amount of protein and protein shakes, but it was all BS. It was all not necessary because guess what I would do? I would sabotage my growth. At 1 or 2 a.m., I'd binge eat because the internal part of me that was looking for that perfection, that satisfaction, that feeling of looking good and feeling good, it was a desperate need for healing. I was actually searching outside of myself to look a certain way, to feel a certain way, because I was unsettled in my nervous system. And when I finally went to a healer and worked with my mentor on my nervous system, the desire to want to look a certain way and to need to feel perfect in my body just kind of went away. It literally dissolved. And I say this all the time, in order to manifest a beautiful body for yourself, a vehicle for yourself. And when I say beautiful, I don't mean aesthetically, I don't mean looks. I mean a healthy working body that is beautiful to be in, and it's glowing and it's able to shine your light really well and people are drawn to it. In order to get there, you have to do the work on the nervous system. And I know you might not want to hear that because we all just want the easy fix. Tell me what to eat, tell me how to move my body, and I want my body to be perfect. And that's not how it works, because you will end up sabotaging just like I did. I would always get to my ideal weight and then I would binge eat, or I would sabotage in some way. And then I would gain the weight back, and I would yo-yo for like back and forth for like 20 years. And then when I finally worked with my mentor, and I work with clients helping them, and that's part of my mentorship program, is what I do with them is we work on the nervous system. We work on why you're looking to obsess. Why are you looking for the food for comfort? Why are you looking to work out to feel safe? What happens if I tell you that you can't work out for 2 weeks? Do you panic? Do you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to lose all my results? I'm not going to look okay. I'm not going to love myself. It all comes back to, where do I not feel safe? Why am I looking for this thing to cling on to? I'm attaching to my looks because if I'm accepted by the way I look, then I'll be loved. So we always have to get to the root, and that's the nervous system work. Once we get to the root and we identify why you're doing what you're doing or why your obsession is there, then you can heal it. And then you just naturally drop weight and you naturally just want to eat certain foods, and you actually can eat poor foods. And because your body is filled with so much light, it doesn't bother your body. You can eat sugar every once in a while. You can eat processed foods and it doesn't affect you the way it used to, because your body is more light now. You're not so dense with all the traumas and all the heaviness on your nervous system. But if you do want to know like what my routine is and what other people's routines are, that's totally cool because it might work for you. I know for me, I walk 3 to 5 times a week on a treadmill or outside for at least 30 to 60 minutes. If I'm on a treadmill, I raise it to a 10 or 11 incline. I always say that keeps the booty tight. I walk 3 miles per hour and I do that for 30 to 60 minutes. If I'm outside, I'm just walking my normal pace, and I'll do a longer walk if it's outside. I'll never usually do 30 minutes. I'll always do the 60 minutes if I'm outside, because I'm not on an incline. There's no exhaustion there. I'm just kind of like strolling. So I always like to go a little bit longer. But walking 3 to 5 times a week for the last 15 years has kept my body super lean and strong, and it's kept my mind clear. And then as far as lifting goes, I lift legs usually around twice a week. I'll do some sort of lunge routine, squats, deadlifts, jump squats, walking lunges. And then I always sprint once a week. And then I forgot about upper body. Upper body, I'll do 2 to 3 times a week. I'll do my chest and my triceps together, my back and buys together. And I always do my core. I'll always do abs after my walks and my sprints. I'll do them while I'm watching YouTube videos on my floor at night. Very, very intuitive. But my body would not maintain the way it maintains now if I didn't do the nervous system work. I would still be on the hamster wheel of grinding 7 days a week. And now it's like, if I don't walk the 5 days a week, oh well, it doesn't matter. If I don't even lift at all, sometimes I go 3 weeks and I don't even lift a weight. My body stays the same. It's still okay. It gets a little looser. It's not as tight, but I don't lose everything because I'm not on this hamster wheel of grind, 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 where my body's used to that. And then when I stop, it like freaks out. It's more intuitive. It's flowy. It's like, oh, let me lift some weights today. And because my mind is not panicked when I don't lift, because I'm not on the hamster wheel, right? I'm no longer in that stress state when I'm not doing it. So what happens is when we're stressed, our body holds on to fat cells because it thinks that we're not going to get food anytime soon. So when we are in a stress state, we hold on. When we're not stressed, our body doesn't hold on to fat. It can still burn the calories. It can still burn it when we're doing nothing. And that's the key here, is keeping your body in minimal stress states. You don't want to be putting pressure on yourself to have to look a certain way, to have to move a certain way. You just want to be free flowing. But the certain foods that I do recommend you guys eating are fruits, vegetables, anything that's grown from the earth, potatoes, getting good protein from your green leafy vegetables. You could do oatmeal. I try to stay away from all gluten, dairy, soy, most processed foods. I do like my gluten-free pretzels, which are also processed, which is okay. I do eat candy every once in a while. But my fridge always has apples. It always has berries. I drink celery juice every single morning on an empty stomach because I know that has helped me heal my celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease. And I can have gluten and dairy now, where before I couldn't because my disease was so bad. But now that I have the celery juice in my system for almost 5 years now, I think I can now have gluten and my body can tolerate it. I still try not to eat it, but I can still eat it and not have the same reactions. I used to get rashes on the back of my arm, like these small little bumps. I would feel like 3 months pregnant. I would look so bloated. My legs felt like tree trunks. They felt so heavy. That's my first sign that I have gluten in my system, is when my ankles and my legs just feel heavy and thick. They don't feel thin and light. It's like an internal inflammation that you guys all know about, right? And the funny thing is, I didn't even know I had been living that way until I took gluten out. And gluten isn't anything with wheat, rye, or barley. So when you take gluten out of your diet, holy cow, your body like shrinks on the inside. All of your blood vessels, everything just gets smaller and smaller, and you feel like you have so much more space in your body. If you have not tried to go gluten-free, you should 100% try and go. And also try to do dairy-free too, because there's so many hormones that they pump the animals with to get them to produce faster so they can kill them faster. to produce more meat and more milk. So then we're ingesting those hormones and those chemicals. If we can avoid putting more toxins in our body can then function properly. And remember, we don't need as much food as we think we need. So try to go without, maybe do a little bit of a water fast for 2 days and see how often you are drawn to eat. We really only need a minimal 3 meals, maybe a snack here or there. And even the meals don't need to be huge. So shrink your serving sizes. Don't track your calories. Just eat until your body feels satiated. Your body is your best beacon. Follow it. If you eat chicken and it doesn't feel good, don't eat it tomorrow. Find a replacement. Do something else. There's so many green leafy vegetables that have enough protein. There's beans, there's legumes, there's so many different things that you can go to. I love bison every once in a while. That's one red meat that I will eat and I love it. It's super, super clean. I'll make tacos with it. I'll make burgers with it. I just bought some yesterday. So I'm going to make some tacos tonight with it. And I do dairy-free cheese and gluten-free wraps. So I still eat kind of normal food, but I try to just minimalize the toxins. And if you're unfamiliar with all of that, if you head over to my Instagram, I have a couple highlights on my Instagram of gluten-free foods and dairy-free foods. You can just tap through all of those stories and you can screenshot and you can have a whole menu of different things that you can eat. So head over to my Instagram. It's michelle.thornton11. And I have highlights where you can search through. I also have stuff about celery juice so you can educate yourself and figure out how to make it for yourself. But if you want your dream body, if you want to manifest and live in this beautiful vessel, I highly recommend walking, working on your nervous system, being intuitive about your eating, not putting too many processed foods in your body, taking out gluten, taking out dairy, taking out soy, taking out anything that makes you feel heavy after you eat it. If you feel heavy after you eat it, you should not be eating it. Okay, that's just not normal. We're not supposed to feel that way. We're supposed to feel light and we're supposed to feel energized, like we just got fuel to keep going, not to slow us down and sleep. Okay, if you're waking up with puffy eyes, you really need to check your diet and see what you ate the night before. That's a huge sign that you have something that your body's trying to get rid of that you probably shouldn't keep eating. The body is always sending signals, and a water fast for 48 hours is going to show you how inflamed you really are. Because once you go without food for 24 hours, your body just shrinks. And all of that energy it normally takes to digest is now going to heal any other part of your body that is in distress. So if you have autoimmune, if you fast for 24 hours, your body's finally going to get a break and it can then heal all the parts of you that are needing healing. Your intestines, your colon, all of that can start to heal when you don't put food in your body because you're allowing your digestive tract to get a break from digesting. And it takes so much energy. So when you're not digesting, your body can finally go to those areas that need assistance. It is a magical intelligence that we don't even understand, and we can let it do its thing, but sometimes we just need to give it a break. And I'm not saying, go on and do a fast. If you have medical conditions, get yourself checked out first. But if you don't have any major conditions, a 48-hour water fast, you can do coffee and water, see how your body responds, and just allow it that time and space to rest to see how inflamed you really are. And then when you get to the state of not being inflamed, you know how light you feel. So then when you put food in, you're going to quickly feel, oh man, I can't believe how much my body reacts to this bread or to this fruit. And you see that your body's saying, don't put this in me anymore, or I need more healing in order for you to do so. So long story short, work on your nervous system, work with a healer to figure out what your triggers are, why you're going to the food, why you're obsessed with looking a certain way, where are you looking for safety in your life? And then once you get to the root of why you do what you do, then you can relax and there's no pressure to be put on the body to move it in a hard way or to consistently move it and not rest. Sometimes rest is better than movement. But then once you get to that space of feeling healed, now we get to shape the body. Now you want to lift because you want to grow muscle and you want to protect your cells. So then you find a routine that feels good for you. My routine might not work for you. You might find something better, but we have to try different routines to see what works. And for me, it's walking 3 to 5 times a week. I lift legs like once or twice a week. I'll do upper body twice a week and I'll switch out what I'm doing. I forgot I'll do shoulders too. I probably do it 3 times a week. Very, very lightweight. I never max out. I never go to exhaustion. but I just do what feels good. And then I'll do sprints once a week just to really run fast because I feel like our body needs that bouncing energy to move the energy in our body. And I just love to sprint because I was an athlete, so that works for me. Some people sprint on a bike. Some people like to use the elliptical. Some people like to do burpees. Everybody is so different. So that is my routine. I walk, I sprint, I lift legs, I lift upper body, and I rest a lot. I take lots of naps. I sleep in as often as I can. And the minute my body feels exhausted, I stop going to the gym. Like I said, I can take 2 to 3 weeks off and my body pretty much maintains because my mind is no longer in stress mode, worried about taking the time off because I know I've done my healing and my body is at this homeostasis where now it's sometimes just a little bit tighter than it normally is. And sometimes it's a little bit looser. So depending on how much I'm lifting weights, but the weight usually stays the same and you can get there too. But the nervous system is the key. You have to figure out where your body is stressed and why it's stressed. Where are you looking for safety? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your finances? Is it in your physical appearance and how you're putting so much pressure on yourself to look a certain way? Do you have a fear of being seen? Do you have a fear of judgment? Those are all things that I discuss in my mentorship with my clients, and I help them uncover why they do what they do or why they aren't doing what they should be doing to help them. So if you feel called to work with me, everything is in the description box below. I would love to help you get your dream body, help you figure out what foods work for you. I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so more people can get this message. And thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. All right, peace out.